Welcome to Faces and Aces Las Vegas. Sitting with me in the studio, we have
Katie.
And I'm Aaron.
And I'm Chris. It's so good to be back.
It's a little weird.
I've kind of forgotten how to do this. I think it might be a little bit clunky, but
it's
we'll
okay.
see.
We'll get used to it.
I didn't forget a thing.
We've been away for a little while, and I apologize. We apologize for disappearing on everybody.
I don't apologize.
Why are you always apologizing?
Yeah, but we got to address the elephant in the room that we've been away for 6 weeks, seven weeks. We've missed 3 episodes, and
because
we got a little bit busy with Hitchbat, and I don't know. You wanted to jump in?
Look up Hitchbat if you don't know what we're talking about.
Well, okay,
Hitchbat.com.
Brief version of the story is Aaron and I made a Hitchbot replacement. We talk about it on the last 3 episodes, and so you're very familiar with it if you're new to the podcast. Here's a brief rundown. We made a hitchhiking robot. Initially, this little robot was supposed to hitchhike across the country. What happened was we decided, hey, let's do one little charity aspect to it.
I don't know. You said we decided that, and it was kind of you who chose his path a little bit. So,
but I mean, you and I went around to comic stores in Los Angeles.
We did indeed,
and we collected comic books to be donated to children in the hospital, and that hit the interwebs and kind of took off. Kevin Smith on Hollywood Babylon talked about it a little bit. Nerdist wrote an article about it. Just all these different online media things shared the story about Hitchbat. And ever since then, we've been playing catch up, and it's turned into this giant philanthropy thing. And given only so much time that we have in a day, I kind of figured that was the way to go for a short period of time. And yeah.
Ride the Hitchbat wave.
Yeah, it got a significant amount of PR, and more than we anticipated.
And he's been to Vegas, so I mean, it's kind of relevant. Just to let the listeners know, I didn't even go to Vegas with these two when they've been taking this bucket back and forth. But everyone asks me, "Where's your husband?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's with our neighbor, and they're playing with a bucket." They're playing with their bucket, and they're like, "What?"
It's a great description. That's not misleading.
Yeah, because the reason why it ties into Vegas is because the first adventure was in Las Vegas. The hospital that we took him to was UMC Children's Hospital in Las Vegas, where we distributed comic books with an organization that does that. And it was a great experience. And there's a lot more to it, or something to that effect.
Well, check out the website.
Yeah, check out the website.
And there's more to the story.
I think the listeners are here to hear more about Vegas, so let's get into that.
Yeah, that's the excuse for why we haven't been recording, but we're now back. We at least want to put out like a little something while this Hitchbat stuff is going on, because we enjoy it. Like I miss this so much.
Oh, all that was an excuse? That's what that was?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Because someone busted my balls and said, you guys should at least put out a little 15-minute explanation on what happened. And I said, you're right. They said that at VIMF. We ran into a few people who listened to the show at VIMF. And that was really cool because I've never experienced anything like that before. Katie, you have fans. People were asking about you. Aaron, you have fans. People were asking about you. You were there, but you had work to do, so you had to disappear for a little while.
Definitely, I did, and I did meet a couple fans, and was shocked that they knew who I was and cared.
Yeah, so
it was surprising.
That's what really touches me. That
we like our fans.
Yes, I was touched by our fans.
Well, I did.
But I was touched.
Because you were physically there, and people were asking about you wherever I went. They said, "Where's Aaron? Where's Katie?" I said, "Katie's not here on this trip. Aaron is here, and if you find him and give him a wedgie, I'll give you $100."
Huh.
Yes, and so far it was actually $100 Best Buy gift card, and I didn't have to give that out to anyone. Fortunately,
no one found you and gave you a wedgie.
I was locked up in my room, so. So have you noticed? I don't know. I don't really go to downtown Las Vegas that much, but we both had our cars while we were there. Did you notice there's no free parking down there? I spent a good hour going into every hotel trying to find free parking, and I actually I remember that back in the day, and that could have been a few years ago. There used to be free parking at El Cortez. And now they don't have any free parking. If you show your player's card, I think is one of the best deals, because if you show your player's card for there, it's half price and it's a flat rate. So if you're going to be there for the day, it seems like that would be a good place to park.
Aaron doing his research. I dig it, man.
It's all for the fans. And speaking of the fans, I know people have been asking. I drove by Baker, the Alien Hotel.
Oh God!
Still
wait. Pause so we can play the X-Files music. Okay.
Still a pile of dirt. I mean, maybe some of the dirt shifted from one side to the other. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the wind or whatnot, but it still seems like a mirage to me.
What have you been up to, Katie?
Working. I got a new job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Same type of job, but just been busy learning and doing all that kind of stuff. But other than that, that's what we've been up to. Cool. But I did send you an article, Chris, that I kind of want to talk about tonight as, part of our little chat.
Oh, I love that article.
Right. So in lieu of actually doing official news, we're just going to do like a little news bite.
I love how you narrate everything that we do.
So listeners, I know you know what BuzzFeed is, and they're very notorious for making lists of things, top 10 things you want to do with your best friend on a Friday kind of thing. But I thought it was a really good one because I thought it was pretty funny because, as you know, Aaron is in his 20s, his late 20s. I'm in my early 30s.
Our
and
fan knows that.
Chris can say what he is.
I'm in my 40s.
There we go. Yeah. So we have a perspective somewhat of, the general idea of what Vegas is like in those age groups.
Spiritually, Aaron is in his 50s.
Spiritually, Aaron's in his 90s.
I don't even know what that means.
He's scrunching his nose and making his eyes really beady behind his thick glasses
and clean them right now.
Yeah, we love you, buddy, but you got to admit, I party longer than you do. You're in bed by 6.
Chris and I were out. How late were we out? Like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. one night?
That's just Vegas. That's
Vegas. And what's Aaron doing? He's passed out in his suite. Anyway, so the list is called Vegas in your 20s versus Vegas in your 30s, which I think is funny because Aaron is definitely not in that 20s range after reading that article. I mean, I could read parts of it that I think are pretty hilarious that would define Aaron. But it's pretty funny. Like, for example, they have booking the room. And so when you're in your 20s, they say the more the merrier. You just want your friends in there. You only have 2 beds, but you have like 15 people. And because you're splitting the cost of the room, no big deal. And then in your 30s, it's all about booking a suite. You still love your friends, but you want to have time to take a shower and you want some luxury. You owe yourself some luxury. Yeah. I'm definitely not in my 20s, but I don't care. I could share a room with 8 people.
You could.
I've shared a room with 14 people. In Vegas.
Okay, so let's do that next time. We'll share a room with 14
people.
I'll find some people to share a room with.
Yeah, I would have almost have done that for VIMFP because I was just going to be there for one night and I wasn't really planning on going to the room because I was originally planning to just stay out all night and party. So
Aaron can't even handle having one bathroom with me in a hotel room.
You make me sound like a cartoon character who doesn't like sharing a bathroom with you.
Another one that was really funny was going out to dinner. So in your 20s, quantity over quality is the economic way of dining in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's all about buffets and posting up at a buffet. Now, this is completely correct for Aaron, the 20-year-old. Now, the 30-year-old is always out to dinner and, looking for culinary experiences and the menus and things like that. So that's more me. I get that one. But Aaron is definitely the buffet guy.
So I like
You can't like both. You can't like both.
I like
you can't
quality,
like both.
But I like a ton of it. So there's nothing wrong with that. What about the clubbing one? It was like, if you're 20, you wait in line at the hot club. If you're 30, you find an exclusive lounge, whatever. And what am I? I'm back in my room.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, those are just things I wanted to point out. Now,
what else do we have? Like 20s and 30s?
They had like how you get there and how you leave.
Let me hear that one. What was that one?
You get there by driving in your 20s, but in your 30s you take a flight.
I still drive.
Yeah. I mean, for the 30s it says you've still got plenty of room for an adventure in your 20s, but the romance of the road has lost some allure, and hangovers aren't romantic at all. They just hurt. You settle into your seat, load the movie on your tablet, and think about coasting past that drive carefully sign. Then you order a drink.
The reason why I don't like to fly, aside from just not generally liking to fly, that flight to Vegas is sometimes filled with just not the best that humanity has to offer.
You're a man of the people, Chris, though. That's something that I would say. But the two of you remind me of my dad, I remind you of your dad.
Sometimes.
Too.
So like cargo shorts with a lot of pockets, the fanny pack, the polo shirt, I want to stop where I want to stop when I feel like stopping. I drive to Vegas when I want.
Who's sporting a fanny pack?
Well, and you banned cargo shorts from the house.
I did.
I love cargo shorts.
Did.
You can fit so many things in those pockets.
No. I just feel like you guys are just kind of control freaks with the whole fact of I want to leave when I want to leave, and I want to drive where I want to drive, and I want to drive to different parts of Vegas when I feel like it, not take a taxi and not do this,
Yeah.
I think the Vegas experience is much better if you have a car.
It really is.
But
anyway, I thought this was going back to the BuzzFeed article, I thought this was a good article. So yeah, BuzzFeed, you kind of got it right, but you obviously don't know Aaron. So
yeah, we're not taking BuzzFeed for fact. They also told me that I was most like Monica on Friends when I did the survey. So,
Really?
Yeah, so no, they're not always 100% right.
I'm more of a Chandler, but on the other hand, I'm also very much a Charlotte from Sex and the City.
But this was a Friends quiz.
All right.
The worst.
I have a news nugget, and then Aaron will jump into your little sharing is caring moment. So my little news nugget is just an update for you guys. Officially, and I can't remember what episode we talked about it, but officially, The Player on NBC is canceled. The Wesley Snipes show has been canceled.
Wow, that was difficult.
Yeah.
Do we talk about that before?
We did. We did a news story about this show that was based on Vegas.
Yeah, either episode 2
and the premise was really, really of a long stretch.
Yeah, with Wesley Snipes.
Extremely rich people betting on crimes versus betting at the tables.
Yes, I was just quizzing you for our listeners so that they could remember that.
Okay.
So that's my news nugget. Aaron, what do you got?
So I stayed at a couple hotels. I stayed at a different hotel each time. And I always book whenever I'm not traveling with Katie. I book the day before, like the day of, when I'm ready to go to the hotel and check in. I book online because I find I get the best deal that way. Mm-hmm. Day of, best deal.
Yeah.
So I've been getting rates for $25 plus $25 resort fee at the Westgate, which is formerly the Las Vegas Hilton.
Mm-hmm. That's a great deal.
I've stayed there twice.
And how's the hotel?
Excellent.
Really?
Excellent.
Okay, for the new listeners to the show, you have to know that Aaron is somewhat of a hotel snob. He prefers...
Wow.
No. I'm just kidding. He totally is.
But no, you prefer, given the choice, to stay at a nice luxury hotel. And if you are going to stay somewhere that's more
Aaron,
affordable...
shower curtains?
No one's giving me
shower
the
curtains?
choice. It is a shower curtain hotel. Okay, so that is one of my barometers. If it has a shower curtain, it's a lower quality. Yeah. It is like an airport Hilton kind of style hotel. It's not
like a Marriott.
It's not super luxurious, but for $50 out the door with taxes and everything, $50.
Yeah,
it's really great.
For value, I'd agree with that.
For value, it's easy to park, especially if I have my car there. They have a Benihana in the hotel.
That's why. That's why, Chris.
Hotel.
Now I find out. That's why.
Okay.
Just a background on this, real quick. Yeah. Aaron is obsessed with Benihanas.
You can't get enough of that smoking onion volcano.
I mean,
they did something different. They did a fire volcano last time I was there. They lit that thing on fire.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
you like people flipping shrimp into your mouth?
They don't do that anymore. You could choke. Yeah, if someone choked. They did that 10 years ago, flipping the shrimp.
Now I know why.
Now they'll just flip it in their pocket and be like, "Look at what I did."
I mean, there's worse things to like, but I guess Benihana's not my favorite.
It's very good. Benihana's is excellent. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to stress is the Westgate. I was expecting like a timeshare sort of presentation. That's why it's so cheap. The biggest complaint that I read online was people said the check-in lines were long. And I typically check in at off times, like for $50. I arrived at night and I checked in at night and I wasted half a day, but for $50, I can do that. Okay. So I'm giving a big ace, if that's what we're doing right now, to the Westgate. So you want to know what else I did?
I know that you have a great story from VIMF because we've talked about most of the stuff. Well,
I do, and we tried to hit all the events. Not all the events, but we tried to hit a couple things. I looked at the events for VIMF, and I said, this is really cool. I'm going to do that.
I covered Friday. I pretty much went to everything on Friday.
You
went to some of the events on Saturday because I got taken away by work on Saturday, and then had to leave like midday Saturday to come back to Los Angeles for an emergency. So... what did you experience?
And what we were given is a private tour of the Las Vegas club. I had a great time, and everyone who was involved in the organization of the event, and even all the people who we met were really nice. So we were let in. We were let into the back of the hotel through the construction entrance, and we had to sign waivers and everything, and we were told that you can keep anything that you can take off the walls or take. They're pretty much going to rip it out. Most of the slot machines, and it had been gutted already, but there were still some things on the wall, and they were encouraging people to take stuff.
And this was one of the events at VIMF, a personal guided tour through the Las Vegas club by the new owner, Derek Stevens.
It was really great.
That is such a cool event.
It was such a cool experience.
I'm so bummed that I missed that.
Yeah, you really missed out. You really missed out because just walking through the casino with the lights off and all the back areas and stuff, they took us to multiple spots. I saw a lot of things that I wanted to take, actually.
Yeah. Because we joked about this before, and this was an opportunity to do it. What would you have taken?
I don't know. I think I would take, like, weird stuff.
Here's what you don't...
Like, dispensers in the bathroom for, like paper towel and stuff. I like those.
Okay. Like the chrome ones?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I like those. I wish I had one in my bathroom.
And I wish that I brought my screwdriver set and things like that. There were some people who brought pry bars and screwdrivers. I didn't even know they were going to do this. I was kind of disappointed that I didn't have that because I could have taken some stuff off the walls. Yeah. What you don't realize, though, what I didn't realize is there are real people who work at these places. You know, they have kids, they have personal effects at their desk and stuff. And we were touring the offices and it was abandoned. A lot of people left stuff. So there were like a kid's science fair project about ants that was in someone's office, a picture of someone's wife. Chris, got a few little souvenirs.
Yeah.
And one of them I got for you. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so in someone's office, I found a nice DVD, okay?
Uh-huh.
Rhonda Thomas live in concert, Olympic Park, okay? It's a DVD, Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow, it's still sealed. It's still
sealed. Okay.
Wow.
So that's a lucky find, okay?
Rhonda Thomas live.
I also got a box of 200 Velcro strips. Okay, you can use these every day. So these are things, seriously, these are things that you wouldn't expect to find at a casino.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take them, okay? Because, someone has to, okay?
Right. Oh, that's cool, man.
I feel like I'm on an episode of what's
it's
that?
Like a garage sale.
The storage wars.
All right, this is a good one, okay? I found in their server room, which is their room with all their computers and stuff from the 30s.
30.
They had some good stuff in there, okay? I mean, we did see too the counting room and stuff like that, and a lot of the ways the rooms, I don't know how to describe it. Very cave-like, not open, so very kind of mob-like, how I would picture it in the movies.
Right.
But I have a few more knickknacks that I found. So in the server room, I found 3 DirecTV remote controls for any DirecTV box.
Nice.
These are good things. And batteries, okay? New in package.
I am taking that with me when I go to Vegas from now on, so I don't have to look for the room remote. I'm bringing my own.
I also found a big giant bag of server rack screws, which are, in my industry, something that's a very good find that no one wanted there, surprisingly. I thought I was going to have to fight over those. I found
stuff that you find of value is just so...
I know, and that's the funny part.
Yeah.
I found an old-fashioned adding machine, one of these with a tape. What is this, Chris?
You mean a calculator?
You should be very familiar with these from your childhood, right?
Buddy, that is an 80s adding machine.
With the paper printout part.
Right.
I'll be giving this to my dad for Father's Day.
Christmas. Hanukkah.
Well, for one of the holidays. It's everything that they had there, all the silverware, all the cups, all the everything. Mm-hmm. Not to mention dirty. Like, literally, they closed and left the dirty food on the plates in the kitchen.
Wow, because they closed very suddenly.
Yeah. But so it was all generic, so nothing was inscribed.
Wow.
And anyway, the last thing I found is a staple remover because I needed one of those. I was looking for one of those earlier.
Oh, that's a good looking one.
Yeah, so this is like a new one. Staples, probably $5.99, something like that.
Well done, man.
Yeah, so I found a lot of good things. Nothing really.
That's your bag of loot that you walk out of the Las Vegas club with. That's awesome, though.
Nothing you'd ever expect.
Right.
But
I would say take the clocks off the walls, but there are no clocks on the walls in a Vegas casino.
There aren't, but there were people taking stuff off walls.
Mm-hmm.
And
wallpaper.
And yeah,
what do you take off the walls? What's on a wall in a Vegas casino?
They're a big post.
Probably like also
posters.
Yeah, and also like frames.
People were taking wallpaper, ripping wallpaper off. Literally, they wanted you to just take everything off and save them the labor.
Right.
So that was our show for this week. I know it's kind of boring, not crazy, but
Wait, why is it boring? Why was that boring?
I don't know.
Was I boring? I was very entertaining.
Okay, it wasn't boring. All right. But anyway, we'll be back with a new episode, all perfect and spanking clean for you soon.
Yeah, I think I like this. Let's just do a couple of these until we finally get things settled down. So I thank you everybody for being patient with us, and thanks for sticking around during our absence. We appreciate it very much. We'll release something on a regular Friday schedule every other Friday.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to a regular full episode probably in about 2 episodes from now.
So what do we say? What happens in Vegas?
Ends up on the podcast.